This is the third video in a series, The Law of Attraction and Business Success. And in this video, I want to talk with you about skill development. It might seem contradictory that there's this idea that you can attract success, but you also have to engage in a level of skill development. But that isn't contradictory at all. In fact, you need skills in this world in order to achieve the results that you want. You need to know how to run a business. You need to know how to sell. You need to understand marketing. You need to understand finance. You need to understand how to use technology, how to work with social media, how to build relationships, and how to do those things that are important in the world to get things done. Now, skill development is something that I believe strongly in because there are just things in life that I've wanted to learn how to do, and I've wanted to apply myself to learning how to do them. And I've learned that in applying myself, I could build my capabilities and ultimately become exceptional at it. So skill development has been something that has been important to me. But I've found that many people are not so interested in the skill themselves and being able to do the skill themselves. And that's a choice that you have to make when it comes to your success. But I will say this. It's important to get that skill in your camp, so to speak, in your activity, whether you're doing it or whether someone else is doing it, because it is further demonstration of your alignment with what it is that's important for you. The longer you go with not having that capability, the more likely it will be that you will perceive that you are unable to achieve what you would like. And then, of course, that will be a cycle that will result in attracting those circumstances that you don't want. So you want to work on certain skills if those are important to you, whether it's selling, marketing, writing, whatever that is, or you want to align with people who have those skills and have those capabilities so that you can lift what you're doing. Now, when it comes to relating to others, this is another place where we can run into people who have great skills but the wrong mindset, or a great mindset and not quite have the skills necessary, but their mindset enables them to build on those skills. So what I'm talking about is how important it is to be able to work with other people. We've talked about our own thinking and how that relates to the law of attraction and business success, and how we perceive things and how important that is. But the other thing that's crucial is the people that we associate with, the people that we connect with, and how those people contribute to both our thinking and our ability to get some things done. If you have someone around you who is saying, well, it's really hard to do this, it's really tough, the market doesn't really want this product, these people don't seem to be the right people to target, there might be some adjustments, as I said in another video, that have to be made for you to be more on point. But if you're consistently getting negative messages and undermining messages, well, that's the wrong person to be associated with. That's a skill. And by the way, our interaction with others, our leadership of others, our ability to work with others, our camaraderie with others, that's a skill. That's a skill. It's a success skill. And so what you want, in addition to identifying what's important to you, in examining where you are in terms of your alignment with that, your thinking about it, your approach toward it, you want to make sure that the people that you're connecting with are the right people. Now, sometimes you'll have someone who's really, really good at something, but they're just not the right person in terms of keeping your consciousness in the right place. And then sometimes you'll have someone who doesn't mean any harm, but they just happen to say all the wrong things that prevent you from getting, they don't prevent you, but they trigger things in you that cause you to potentially go down the wrong track. So as you begin to think more about the right skills, well, what will happen is the right people will come into place. So it is something that you have an impact on, and it's something that you should be aware of as you proceed. So remember this. This is an important thing. In order to be successful, in order for a company to perform well, it has to have a connection to those skills that perform well in its market. Remember, I was talking to you about those teachers who would talk about attraction and talk about spirituality. Well, they would assemble great teams. They would have great teams doing their television work, great teams doing their direct mail, great teams doing all the things that were necessary to have an organization that could live up to the way they saw themselves and they saw their potential in this world. So team building is important. Skill building is important. And it's a fundamental aspect of attracting the right kinds of people and circumstances to accomplish those things that you want. I happen to know a company that when they started out, they were not very good at what they wanted to do. In fact, they we had a licensing agreement with them where we were supplying some content to them. And they had put a lot of money in this company. They were really struggling, but they had to learn that market. They had to learn how that market worked. And it took them many years, twists and turns. And ultimately the CEO said, the problem here is that I haven't dug into the skill necessary. And once I figure out what skills are necessary, it will be easier for me to attract the kinds of people that are important for us to be successful. But I am doing this kind of half-heartedly. I'm not applying myself in the way that I should. And what happened is, once that person started to apply themselves and started to think in the right terms and started to see that organization growing in the way it could, it started to make the right moves in the market. It started to attract the right people. The right openings began to happen. Very, very talented people who were committed elsewhere were able to come into that circle, and that company is now performing at a very, very high level. And there's no question has staked out a category that they really have owned. So skill development is crucial, and it's the next phase for many people in developing the way they should develop. Get those skills personally and get those skills aligned with you and on your team, and then everything will line up the way it should. Everything will line up the way it should, and you'll start to perform the way you should. It's a process. It's a process of adjusting how you think, adjusting what you do, finding the right person to be involved with, and saying goodbye to some people who are not the right persons. But once you do that, you'll find that you'll be where you want to be. Well, if you like this tip, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. There's no insight like Taylor Insight, so share that with friends and colleagues and business associates. Let them know that this is a great channel to be connected to and to subscribe to. And make sure you're subscribed, of course. And there's a lot more to come here. So I hope you will stay tuned, and I will see you next time.